I mean, the pitchers, if you had to identify one, just in your, let's say you came into this blind, you didn't know the names of the kids, you didn't know who came from where, you've seen a lot of their games. Is there one player that has jumped out at you that you say, you know what, I'm going to be expecting to see this kid play in the big league someday? Is there one guy?
There's the one kid who seems to be standing out and is the closer, and that's kid Doug Murray.
Okay.
He's a junior, played at the University of San Francisco, and he's come out. When he comes into the ball game, it's usually lights out. Now it's not. I can't say it's John Papelbon coming in because he doesn't throw as hard as those guys, but he seems to have a presence when he gets on the mound. He looks like he could have a future here. Now, these kids who are juniors in college, what has happened, they've been drafted. Most of them have been drafted out of high school. When they first attend their first class in college, they're not eligible for the draft for 3 years.
Okay,
so that's why you see juniors. So
after this year,
he'd probably be eligible to go back in the pool after this year.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how some of these guys, it'll be fun to track them as the years go on. Now, that's assuming that there will be years to go on with this franchise. It's their first year here in New Bedford. How would you assess how they've done in terms of what they wanted to do in terms of attendance, in terms of interest? What are the crowds like? Is it a professional? Does it feel like a minor league game? Does it feel like a college game? What's your take on the experience and where they're at with it?
Well, I think obviously they would love to see the place packed every night.
Yep.
It's not. And they have a section of bleachers to the first base side and the third base side. It's hard to tell because there are so many areas where people could be watching when they're not in the seats. The other day they announced an attendance of I think it was 822 or 922, 866 it was. I'm sorry, 866. I was walking back to the press box before the start of the game, and in that big section of bleachers between home plate and third base, I counted 22 people. So there must have been a late arriving crowd.
In and out, a lot of cycling.
And I know that from opening night, when I asked about attendance, and they gave it as 3,000. I was told that was based on not sold tickets, but on clicks at the door. So in other words, if you're coming in the door, it's a click. I think that's something that we're not too interested. Their attendance figure doesn't really matter to us, but it's definitely not a paid attendance figure.
And it's a league that I believe Newport, which is the nearest team to here, is one of the highest drawing teams. And they, last season, I was looking into this before the season started, I believe they drew 2,000 people. But that was per game. This was a league reported average, but I mean there are other teams in the league that have drawn 400, 300, 200 fans a game for an entire season. So I'm not sure exactly how, if there's a uniform way that they determine the attendance numbers, but it's New Bedford. Depending on, even if they are, maybe if the numbers aren't exactly what we would consider, they're doing all right. I mean, if the numbers that they're reporting are decently accurate, they're doing okay.
And what are the crowds like? I mean, do they appear to have real feeling for the Bay Sox? I mean, is it when they get the rallies going? I mean, is there some real excitement?
There appears to be a genuine feeling from one of the things that surprised me. We're in Boston Red Sox country, and you see a lot of Red Sox hats at the game, but there are a lot of Bay Sox shirts at the game, and not just the staff people. They have a staff of thousands that are walking around with those red shirts that say staff, and not counting those, there are a lot of people that come in with Bay Sox paraphernalia on, and that's I think the people who come are baseball fans, and I think they're supportive of the team.
And we have a lot of those.
I think so. Area. And because the kids come from so far and wide, it's not a family and friends crowd. It's not like we're going to have 30 people from Joe Blow's family who showed up because he lives 15 miles away and they're going to come and support him.
Right.
These kids they live in host family homes, so they're living in the area, and they basically come to the park. That's one of the things that's good about this particular team is the camaraderie that they seem to have developed.
Yep.
They're not living in a like a dorm situation. They're not living as a team. They're living in individual places, yet they seem to come together and they seem to genuinely like each other, and that's kind of good because you got a lot of players coming and going.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the other aspect of they just added Chase Davidson from Georgia. Now Davidson was the highest drafted player in 2008 who did not sign with a major league team. He was drafted by Houston in the 3rd round.
Oh, I did. Wow.
He came in. Now he hadn't played by the time I had sent. Once he signs a contract, it's 3 days before he's eligible to play.
Okay.
So his first day of eligibility would have been July 1st, except they got rained out the 1st, the 2nd.
Yeah, rain has not been their friend.
That was that the last 2 years they've really gotten hit hard with rain. That last season in Torrington too, they had something like 8 or 9 rainouts. That was something that they talked about as being a problem to really try to attract a crowd because you got to get the weather is a huge factor.
Yeah. That's why I feel like I think there's a little bit of a feeling from the community here of all this about the Bay Sox. Who are they? They're not a major league team. They're not a minor league team. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're not changing the world. But it's a fun little thing to do. It's definitely, if you want to take a family of 4 there for a game, you're going to get out of there for $35 with a hot dog and maybe a shirt for your kid, and that's not bad.
And I will say one of the things that they've really delivered on is they coming in had said that they offer a different flavor of baseball from the Cape League, and the Cape League is definitely still the idyllic, that it's about the baseball game. The Bay Sox promised to create a party-like atmosphere at the stadium, and they have done that. And they've really attracted, especially on the business side. I mean, the businesses that we've heard from who've wanted to get involved, who are doing promotions, there has been a line out the door. So they've really kind of captured, a part of this area and are really trying to, ingratiate themselves in the fabric here. And I think that it's shown with what they've been able to do so far.